All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our first ever broadcast of Serial Killers, the movie.
That's right, ladies and germs.
Yeah, this is, we're going to have several different episodes. My name's Glenn Spillman. Sitting next to me is Carl O'Leary.
So,
And we're chilling out in outside of Sacramento, California, in a little town called Citrus Heights. It's got a nice little horror vibe to it. It's raining outside, pretty
Yeah.
good. It's a nice little mood.
nice little
And
horse in the beginning.
we're just two chill dudes, man. And we started last year. What, September?
Oh, don't ask me about dates, dude. I'm
Probably
terrible with
September.
dates.
Now, before September happened, I wrote this short script. It's called "Thanks for the Ride," and it was what, like 20 pages.
Yeah, like 15, 20, somewhere around there.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, it had some gruesome things to it, and
Debauchery.
yeah, a little debauchery action going on.
Fantastic.
But give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna go live on my camera over here. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. We are actually filming, for those that are gonna watch this later on Facebook on our group. We're doing a podcast right now, the very first one for serial killers. So again, for those of you that don't know me, I'm the creator of the very first script that I wrote. Carl jumped in, and this is how serial killers start. So we're going to continue on the podcast, but everyone that watching this, we're going to explain, and listening, we're going to explain, because we get a lot of questions from people. What is serial killers about? So we are going to explain, not in grave detail. We'll kind of give you step by step. But the Carl came to me last year, probably at the end of August, September. It's like, you know what, dude? This would be kind of cool to what's the backstory, of Dallas and Lamont? Let's talk about that. And during our conversation, he says, you know what, man? This would be a good series.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, dude, because we can't tell the entire story that I want to tell just with one film. I mean, it would be like a multi-hour film. And we talked about building the characters, doing backstories. Who are these characters? What were they before? How'd they get to where they are now? And we decided that we're going to do a series. And it took us a while to figure out a name. What was the the benefit of this film series? And
It seems like we had the name right away.
yeah, we did. Yeah,
but we weren't confident to
Yeah.
go with serial killers. We're like, maybe we should keep
That's
looking.
it's a bit much.
But
you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
But every time I looked at the name while I was writing other names for the title, I was like, you know what? I really like serial killers. It really it's so simple, but it's so defined.
It says what we want to say.
Speaks louder than words.
It does. And we went, and I'm not even joking.
It's cool.
If we went through 10 names, we went over 100. Because in one day alone, I sent Carl 45 different names.
More probably.
And he's like, dude, overload.
Yeah.
But he was still stuck, on that name.
Yeah.
And I couldn't divert him from it. And
Meant to be.
so we did, and so we fleshed out the characters, and then we started writing in September of last year, 2025, and we got the first season completely written
Gnarly.
in like 2 months, and we would spend hours on the phone, whether we did it in person, but mainly we did it on the phone. And there one day we spent literally nonstop over 8 hours on the phone, just typing and talking. And
that's when the magic was happening.
yeah, dude,
right
it was
there.
awesome.
Just flowed.
It flowed like
it's so beautiful.
like whatever flows properly,
Well, yeah, we yeah.
But it is when we were writing these characters, and I'm going to be, for those of you for listening and for those of you who are watching on the group, I'm going to be very, very transparent with you, because a lot of you have said, why does this scene need to be in there? This one seems a bit graphic, borderline pornographic, and other words that were used.
Dirty.
And let me tell you something, folks. This is where I'm going to be transparent. And Carl knows this, and I told Carl, because Carl's like, dude, where the fuck do you get this shit from? And not that it was a bad thing. It was like, dude, where's this coming from? Mm-hmm. So I told Carl, I'm like, you know what, Carl? Most of the stuff that I am writing, whether it's the character or whether it's dialogue or whether it is a scene, actually happened in real life.
That's great.
And when he asked me questions, he goes, did that really happen? I'm like, yeah, it really happened. So when I was a kid, and some of these things that I'm going to be filming might trigger people and whatnot, but I write these characters very specific reasons. I write dialogue for very specific reasons, and I write scenes for very specific reasons. Because honestly, folks, I wrote, and Carl and I wrote these together.
We collaborate.
But some of the things, like for Dallas, pretty much everything happened. When I was a kid, I was molested, okay? The very first time that I remember being molested was by a preacher's nephew, I believe it was. It was during the day. It was outside of a window. I remember it like it was yesterday. The second time I was molested was at a neighbor's house by the older brother of my friend that I was staying the night with. He made us do certain things. I won't get into it now, but if you watch the series, I did write those scenes. It's in there.
A lot of the stuff that he and I went through is in the series. We incorporated it in somehow, or in some way, and we kind of pulled from our past experiences to help with our characters,
right?
To get into character,
right?
So that's what you're going to be seeing.
So when Dallas, the character the main character that I wrote, because I told Carl, I said, dude, that actually happened to me. And the third time, so I've been molested. The first time, I think I was like my son's age, like 9 years old, and it happened multiple times throughout my life in different situations, and a lot of them, oddly enough, were from Christians or a pastor or a priest when I was in Catholic school, and I was always, told to keep my mouth shut, because when I tried to tell my parents, they didn't believe me, because I was a kid with an imagination,
reality,
and because that really happens in real life.
Yeah.
And fast forward to when I had kids, my older daughter, she was molested by a boyfriend of her mother's, and her mother didn't believe her either. And my daughter is 24 now; she'll be 25 this year. She's still fucked up in the head from what she went through, and she's still messed up in the head from her mother saying, no, it didn't happen. And her mother was pissed off that that my daughter told her that.
A little bit of profanity in here.
Yeah, sorry. And that's another thing. People ask me about the profanity, but that's how these people talk. And
that's most horror films in general. It's graphic, it's violent, it's maybe despicable, but I mean, if you look at most successful horror films, they have those ingredients in them.
Right.
And the series is no different. It's just going to be a collaboration of him and my ideas.
Right.
And our love for horror films and what we want to blend into here. Because some of the stuff we're using is from actual films. We use some of the ideas from films in our own way, in our own style, a different take, if you will.
Yeah.
And you're going to get that whole spectrum of what we think versus what other artists have done in the past.
Right.
And get that blend. I think it's going to be really interesting for you guys.
Right. And
it's kind of unique.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And see, we're telling a story. See, people think I'm just fucked up in the head, and I'm writing just some bullshit, like the scene there's a scene that I
it's
cast,
all cohesive,
and everybody that has wanted to go for that scene, except one person, has been like, nope, not gonna do it. It's this, it's that, but see that scene.
But as he's saying, this is real life.
It's real life.
This shit happens.
Yeah, every
it's
day.
not cookie cutter, lame, made up stuff. This is real stuff.
Yeah, and I want to write, because see, I have a message for this film series, a very specific message, because there are characters in the very first episode that are pedophiles. There's 3 of them, and I have them there for a reason, because I obviously was molested by a pedophile. There's things in there. It's like, I'm Native American. So a lot of my, quote, therapy that I've done to try and deal with some of the shit that's in my head is I've gone on like a spirit walk with a shaman. And I have been... things that I hid in my brain from a kid plays in my head like a movie when I go on these spirit walks. And some of you people may think that's hokey shit, but it's real. For me, anyway. I saw things and I'm like, oh, that happened to me. Oh, man, that happened to me. And then it brings up these memories. And to tell you the truth, people, writing this series...
Okay, so that's interesting. Let me just break it down for a second. So... then that means you see some of your past played like a movie for you, and it's like you don't even realize that happened to you until you see it in your head.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it brings up. You see, these are little nuggets that Carl didn't even know.
See, and that could be used in the series.
Yeah, because because when you're traumatized, at least for me, I'm not saying everybody, but when you're traumatized, you block off things in your head that you just don't remember until, like me, I go on a spirit walk or whatever. It's like people say, do you have any siblings? I said, yeah, I had a sister. I remember 2 things about my sister. I do not remember growing up with my sister. I do not remember interacting with my sister. Wow. Nothing. That part, I don't know what happened, but that part is blocked off into my head to where I just...
you see, like, fragments of it?
Fragments. In writing this, when I'm writing certain things in dialogue and characters, memories pop up in my head. When they pop up in my head, I write them in the script, and I'm like, and people are like, why do you write that shit? And I tell you, because it's therapy for me. Writing this is therapy. I tried killing myself 12 different times. Yeah. I remember before I tried it the last time, I called my mom. I said, Mom, I'm really in a bad place. This is going on. These memories are coming back. I need to come home and I need help. And she said, and I quote, haven't we helped you enough? And I hung up the phone with my mom and I went to go kill myself. And I played Russian roulette, like, I don't know, for like a long time, and nothing happened. It was always click, click, click. So I don't know if I always missed the bullet or if some archangel in heaven was watching over me.
You're being looked over. That's pretty incredible right there.
And so I said at that
time, you
time,
weren't meant to go.
Yeah. So at that time, it was I called it the Dirty Dozen because I tried to kill myself 12 different times. And so I said, I'm here for a reason, so I'm not going to try it again. There's one other time I almost died. The River Phoenix died from this drug, and I won't go into that story, but I had the very same drug. He took a drop full. I took a whole ounce with alcohol, and I remember waking up in a front yard with my cousin over me. And anyway, the doctor said that if I didn't pass out in a snowbank, which that's where I was, for whatever happened with the cold and everything, kept certain things from happening. Anyway, I didn't die that night.
Yourself.
Yeah, something. I was out there for a while. So I think my place in this world, other than being an actor and all that, because see, being an actor, I get to play certain things, and that's therapy for me too. But when I write these things, it's really triggering for me, to be quite honest with you. It really, really messes with me, but I have to get it out, because I promise you this, ladies and gentlemen, there's other people out there getting molested right now
Mm-hmm.
that are being preyed upon right now. And there's people out there that won't listen to them. They tell them to shut up. They say, oh, it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
So within this, this is more of a, I guess some of the characters in here, which we're going to go into the characters here in a minute, is a more vengeful type thing.
Yeah.
But for those of you that are on this group page, there's like 140 of you, and it's growing every single day. Some people are mad at me for writing this stuff. The actors would be like, "Why do you what?" No, I got people from all over the world emailing me and texting me and want to be a part of this film series because I have other platforms that I put stuff on. And they hear my story and they go, we want to hear your story. That's another reason why Carl and I are writing this, because we want our story out. And this isn't just some film that we're doing, some made up shit fiction that we're writing. This is our emotions. This is our past that we've gone through. This is our hurt that we're putting on this paper. So when you actors see a role that might be pretty freaking dark and something dark happens, well, I put that in there for a reason. Because either 90% of it was real and I just added a certain element to it, or 100% of it was real, or maybe, all the names that I put in these characters are real. The backstories are real. I'm telling, I've got my friends that have gone through some of my experience. They go, Glenn, put me as a character in your film. Tell my story, because no one else is going to listen. So for those of you out there questioning me and emailing me and are mad at me for, maybe after you watch this video or listen to this podcast, you'll understand me more why I'm doing and why Carl and I are doing what we're doing.
Yeah. I also feel like it's an artistic decision too. It's like, it's part of your creativity to tell a story and make it real.
Exactly.
And the fact that we have real elements to it is gonna really add to the piece in general. But the fact that we're writing this the way we are, it's also to brings like the movie magic. You know what I mean? We want that quality of like imaginative play and fun. Now this is a lot of the topics are real and they're disgusting. But that's a lot of things in life. This is real stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. And sometimes the worst things that happens in life can later be funny because we have to look at it and go, you know what, that was actually pretty ridiculous. Whatever. Can't believe that happened. You got to learn to laugh at it. Right. Or just enjoy the stories that are, because these are stories. Right. You know what I mean? They're not actual. Yes, there's realism
some of them,
to
yeah.
it.
Some of them,
they're what actually happened, but the characters that we made up in the story are fictional. The players in the game is all fictional, but what the concept itself is our creative ideas based on those little nuggets that you're hearing from us to make an actual series that makes sense. And it's supposed to take you on kind of an adventure in a way. You're supposed to feel like it's fun.
Yeah, for sure. Did that? This is the secondary part of the video. We had a phone call come in and it cut off the video. Sorry, folks.
Technical
So we put our heart on our sleeve, if you will, and see this series. There's not a standalone episode. This episode's about this. It is a continual story of how we integrate the characters in and how we flow the story. It's a continual story. The first episode is the first season is 8 episodes. Most of the episodes are anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes per episode. The finale, episode 8, it's about an hour and a half. So for those of you that, we're going to talk about the characters now. So we'll start with Dallas. Dallas is based off of me and my life. And and he's got, he was in the military, has a military combat training, the life that he lived during military and after military, some of the people that he met, some of the things that he did, and he's based off of who I am. So he's kind of the, I'm not going to get into who he is because I don't want to give too much away of the series, but that's kind of how he starts. Lamont, which is Carl's going to play. Pieces of Lamont are pieces of Carl.
Yeah.
Some of his mannerisms, his attitude, his thought process is pieces of Carl. Mm-hmm. Then you have Lamont's girlfriend, Raven. Raven is based off of a ex-girlfriend of mine who's very goth, into that scene. At one point in time was like a Valley Girl Barbie type person. Something happened to her in life, and she kind of took a dark turn, a dark path. So we're going to build up that story about Raven. Morgan is also based off of a really good friend of mine that I know that's unfortunately died now at 36 years old. I won't really get into that right now, but she died from her demons. And so I'm telling her story.
That's cool.
Then we go into the villain. Well, then there's the judge, I should say. I knew this judge, actually. He was a good friend of mine. The lawyers are based off of people that I knew. Still know. Then the neighbor is also based off of someone I knew that had their own skeletons in their closet. It comes off innocent at first, but we develop that story into future episodes. Then we go into the cashier at the metaphysical shop. The cashier at the metaphysical shop is 100% real. Native American individual that I presently know. And the metaphysical shop that is less than 5 miles from where I'm sitting right now. It's tucked away in a nice little, historical... Nook. There you go. Then we dive into the villain. The villain is based off of people that I have known, met in different parts of the world. I show the deviant behavior of this villain because I knew people like that. I met them in Bangkok, Thailand,
They exist.
When I was in the military. And I was on leave one weekend, and I went to this event. You call it a party.
Files.
And this individual was there and was putting on a show, if you will. And the person that they were putting on the show with is what I put into this scene. That shit actually freaking happened. And minus a couple of things. And so I put it in the script because it's what happened. And if you go into the three gentlemen that I have towards the end, well, it's kind of in the middle and the end of the first episode, they're pedophiles. And they're of different ages, but they're of different mindsets. I mean, pedophilia is bad enough as it is, but you have 100% different levels of pedophilia. You got those voyeuristic pedophiles that never touch a kid but want to see it happen. You have the one who's learning how to engage with children, trick children, all this kind of stuff. Then you have the master who's teaching, the Jedi master, if you will, of pedophilia, who's teaching all this. And the character that I have in this episode is an actual person that I met, again, in a different part of the world. And they lived a very different dual life. You would never think in a fucking million years that this person did the shit that they did. And the dark web is in this series. The dark web is real, 100% real. You can't get on it from just typing in dark web. You have to maneuver.
We dive into the dark web pretty heavily in this one,
for sure. And it's a real
I
thing.
don't know how much you want to talk about, like, the
I
whole
don't want to talk
overview.
about too much of the
Okay.
series. I'm just going to mention the dark web because it comes into play.
Yes.
In the first episode.
Yes.
But we explain everything in storytelling, and a lot of the and the Witch's Coven is from I used to belong to this I guess you could call it a cult, if you will, if by definition. And a gentleman that I met through the realm of the digital realm, if you will, started a sect, and I won't name what it is, but I met this person, and I met other people through that, and I got involved with a lot of different people. I've met, people that, like, through the Church of Satan. I didn't know they were the Church of Satan to begin with. They just invited me to this event. They were very nice people, very, very loving and welcoming. And when I left, I asked my friend, I'm like, oh, those seem like nice people. And he goes, do you know who they are? I'm like, no, I don't. I thought they were like, Larry and Bob,
Yeah, for Satan worshipers.
They go, no, those are Satanists. I'm like, what? They didn't seem like. And he goes, well, what does a Satanist look like? So I figured I would describe him. He's like, no, they're normal people. So I kind of splashed that into this series. A little
you just
bit.
Never know who you're next to.
You don't. You
No
never
idea.
know who you're next. Just because they look a certain way doesn't mean they are who they are. They say never judge a book by its cover. You need to read in between the pages.
Yeah.
And then I met some witches. I've dated like witches, and I dated this one girl. I can say her first name. I won't say her last name. Her name was Keisha, and she claimed to be a 5,000-year-old vampire. She played the role to a fucking T. She dressed like a vampire. She acted like a vampire. She never went out during the day, and she. I don't want to get too graphic here, but when we engaged in...
So she literally thought
Yes.
she was a vampire.
Yes, 5,000-year-old vampire.
That's amazing.
And one of the themes that we have in, I think, episode 4 involves a Ouija board. That whole scene that I put in there, 100% happened verbatim. And... She acted like it to a T because she really, really thought she was. I met her witch friends, and then I dated a witch, well, a few. And I'm not talking to a witch as, she's just
Did
acting
you want
like
to divulge the scene a little, or do you?
Which scene?
The one you're referring to.
The Ouija board?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. In that episode, during the use of the Ouija board, she gets possessed. And the way that it happened, it wasn't acting. Because the people that were there thought she was just fucking around. No. What actually transpired was 100% real, and it freaked me out enough to where, you'll see it in the scene and hear what I say. I did say what I say, and I was going to do what I said I was going to do. But Lamont actually, Carl here that plays Lamont, actually...
Carl and Lamont at the same time.
Says that dialogue in action because that's what I went through. So a lot of these, like I said, every character, well, not every character, but a lot of them are built off of factual people. And, when people, when they just read the first episode, I have had at least a half a dozen people say, I don't want to be a part of this project. I've got 4 kids. I don't want them to see me play a character like this. And, but number one, you're an actor. Mm-hmm. You're not the person that you are portraying. Mm-mm. It's like, we'll just say, Jack Nicholson, he played the Joker. He's not a Joker in real life. No. He doesn't act like that in real life. Or, I could just pull all these other characters. The guy that plays...
a cannibal.
Yeah.
I'm not a cannibal in real life.
The guy that plays Art the Clown, Thornton, the last name, the actor. He's not Art the Clown in real freaking life. Mm-hmm. He's an actual nice guy. We're friends on Facebook. And
It's
like
just entertainment.
it's all it is. You're
like
you're
when you're-
playing a role.
Yeah. It's like you're the character in a video game if you were a video game.
Yeah.
You're that character. You're not actually that character, but you're portraying that character. And you're
Right.
trying to use your own experiences to be that character, to make it real.
Right. So when you guys kind of get on to me a little bit about, oh, you're too this, that's demeaning. I'm like, that's not you in real life. Number one,
No.
what's the title of the fucking series? It's called Serial Killers. That should give it away right there.
It's like a dead giveaway.
It's a horror movie. It's like I said, this isn't Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and we're not all riding unicorns throwing around fairy dust.
No.
In a horror movie, and now, granted, there's different kinds of horror. There's, you've got, I mean, even if you dive back in the 80s, like Friday the 13th, I mean, that was
more gritty.
Yeah,
But this is real.
this is real stuff. And
We're not cookie cutting anything.
No, and
We're
I
just getting
said-
straight to it.
I said, if you guys that are on the group or visit the group or anything like that, you read the bio. If you don't read the bio, then that's not my fault. I say what we're going to do. I say I'm going to push the envelope. I say that we're going to touch on some very dark, touchy subjects that's going to make people uncomfortable. And horror isn't for everybody. And and now there's actors out there, just to give you guys, a little bit of a
We
break.
come from like Jason and Freddy and Texas the Chainsaw Massacre. We come from
Yeah,
those kind of horror
Hellraiser
movies.
and all that
Hellraiser,
kind of stuff.
Pumpkinhead.
Human Centipede.
Well,
you know?
I don't want to get into that one.
Okay, yeah.
That's not my thing.
But now for instance, I'm sure you guys have seen that are horror fans seen the movie Hostel.
Yes.
Now I've been to hostels over in like Amsterdam, and they just like the movie. You're sharing a room with people, this and that. 100% factual. Because when I saw that movie, I'm like, that shit actually happens. Because there are people that target tourists, and they drug them and do all this stuff, and they sell them to people like this. So that movie kind of hit home with me because I've been around it, I'm a worldly person. I traveled the world by the time I was 19 years old. I've seen things that a human being should never see. I've witnessed things. I've been a part of things. I've had things done to me, and it's just so when people ask where I get this stuff from, life, from stuff that I've done or been a part of or seen, these emotions that are guttural inside of me. So for those of you that kind of get on to me about, I know you're actors and I know you want to act in a film, but I had an actor tell me just yesterday, do you have more of a mild-mannered character that doesn't use foul language? And I'm like, no, I don't.
We were just talking about this, though. We were thinking for those people that possibly want to play those kind of characters, we're thinking of having neighbors who were very... straight-laced,
mild-mannered, kind of. There you go.
Civil, type people that eventually play a part in the role. So that could be an actual character.
Yeah, but
or characters.
Now I'm not going to mention this person's name or even where they're from, but it's an award-winning actor, and they're in a well-known movie, and they've won awards, but they're a person of faith, and they wanted to be in this film. I'm like, okay, wait a second now. You just said you're a person of faith. Do you not know what this movie series is about? I don't want you to be offended, and I kind of gave them the parameters, and they're like, dude, don't even worry about it. Yes, I still want to be a part of it. And they said, kind of like what I'm saying, it's just a character.
Yeah.
That's all it is. I'm not that person,
No.
so I don't care. So horror's not for everybody is what I'm trying to say. And there's different levels of horror, yes.
This is more dark and gritty than I guess you would say your typical horrors, but the classic horrors were in that spectrum.
Yeah. So
80s, 90s horror.
But 100%, and after you listen to this podcast and after you watch this video,
70s, late 70s.
and I've invited you guys, get a hold of me. My phone, well, it's not. Yeah, it is. My phone number is on the group page. Text me. You could find me on Facebook through the group page. DM me. A lot of you have. I will literally sit there all night with you and answer any question that you want answered, to kind of give you a little bit more of a semblance of what I mean. Dude, just the other night I was up till 2 o'clock in the morning talking to 2 different people about a certain character, and I was, I didn't dive into the series. I just dove into that episode because they were on board until they read their scene, and then they would like backtrack and be like, I'll still help you promote it, but I don't want to be a part of this, man. It's too dark for me. And again, this film is not for everybody. So for those of you actors that are offended for what we are writing and what we're doing, sorry. Sorry. It's artistic freedom. I don't tell you how to act. I don't tell you what to act in. If you want to act in, Hallmark movies, fine. More power to you. Great. I will support you 100%, but I will not apologize for what we've written. I will not apologize for what we're about to film, and I will not apologize for the series that we're doing, because it means something to both of us, and I hope that it means something to you guys and gals.
And don't take it
as
too
well.
Personally.
No.
It's just a series.
It's
is. Make believe. It's pretend. You know what I mean? With realistic things that actually happened.
Right.
But for the most part, we made this story up.
Right.
With those elements.
So, and I love the people that come and that are humble and
it's just darker,
and want to be a part of. And there's this. I want to give a shout out. Now, there's a character. I can say. Now, can I say the character's name? Certain person's screen name that has in it.
If you want.
Should I? Just say the name? No, I'm not going to say anything.
See, that's the thing. That's a you decision.
Anyway, there's this band. This band. This person got a hold of me that heard about our series. Now, dude, we have all kinds of casting agents, casting companies that have heard about this film series, that put us up on their platform. And just say, hey, we want to let you know that we believe in what you're doing. We're going to put you up on our platform and promote you. Awesome. And they know what it's about. But there's this band manager in Milan, Italy, that got a hold of me. He said, dude, we would love to do and work with you guys. Anyway, the band is called Black Phantom. And they're going to be doing the theme song for the series. They're gonna completely write it from scratch, and he told me the elements that he's gonna put in there, and he used music lingo that I didn't know what the hell pretty much what he was talking about, but it sounded good. So he's gonna do some theme music for some scenes. He read the first script. Now he also questions one of the scenes between the villain and the he's like, ugh. Even the actor that I cast was like, but when I explained to him how the scene was going to be shot and what I actually was going to do, I eased their mind, and they're like, whew, okay, cool. Because I thought you were making, this and that. But and again, and don't criticize me for what I do. Ask me questions on why I'm doing it, and I will tell you everything you want to know about your character. I'll tell you everything you want to know about how I'm going to film this. And I will tell you everything you want to know to ease your mind.
Yeah, we're not making a snuff film or anything.
Yeah, we're not. Well, no, we're not. I'm joking. We're not. We're not.
Yeah.
But again, it's therapy for me, guys. And
not doing a porno.
Yeah, no. Now that scene they sound like it when you read it, but it's not when I film it. There's no nudity in our series at all.
There's logic behind everything that we're writing.
There's no nudity. There's no. There's suggestions. Now there might be dialogue. Like I'll give you an example. There's this one character. It is there's a prosecutor, then there's the district attorney and whatnot. But anyway, Dallas is having a secret affair with the DA. They were having dinner one night, but through dialogue, you're going to find out exactly who this DA is and how far that Dallas is going to pull information out of her to see how far she will go with something. Well, at the end, I don't remember if Dallas asked the question or she asked the question, but it was about dessert. And one of them said, well, why don't you have some of my creamy cherry pie. We know what that means. That's all it is. It was a dialogue. Yes, it's sexual in nature, but so what? It's a dialogue. And she walks off to the bedroom, and then cut scene. There's no bedroom scene. There's no of them in the bed. There's no make-out scenes. There's no nothing. It's just implied. But if you read the script, you're like, oh. But when so if you have, for those of you that are already on board or want to be on board, if you read the script and if you ask for a certain scene, I'll send it to you. Just ask me. So I've covered all of the characters in the first episode, right? The 3 dudes, the witches, Morgan, Raven, Dallas, lawyers, cashier, judge, prosecutor.
There's a lot of characters, though. To be fair, I don't think we covered every character.
Well, there's 17 characters in the first episode.
Oh, the first episode.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So I didn't mention the prosecutor. The prosecutor is just a normal. She's played the prosecutor. First was to be, if you look at the casting notice, it was to be a male. But I tell people, just because I say male I don't really mean that. I will, if you talk to me about, man, I'd really like to play the prosecutor, but I'm not a dude. I'm like, well, he doesn't have to be a dude, because a prosecutor can be anybody. So I changed it from a male, and now a female is playing that role. And if you want to know more, for those of you that aren't on the page yet, join our Face group page at Serial Killers Movie. And if you want to know more about, the characters and the actors that are going to be on it, go to cellar13films.com and go to the current projects tab, hit that. And every time I cast somebody, which I've cast like 7 or 8 people now, I put them up there and I put them on our group page, and I constantly engage with people on the group every single day. I'm a very open-minded individual, and I will talk with actors, and we could, you're not going to change my mind on, like, oh, do they have to say the word fuck? Yes, they do, because there's a point to the F word. I don't just throw it in there. I even use the C word every now and then, but for a very specific reason. I'm very, and I keep saying this, I do this stuff writing wise. I use words specifically for specific things. But like, there's a scene with Carl. I won't say what it is, but it's in front of the computer. And
yeah,
you see from behind certain things, but you don't see, but you know what's going on.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious.
And there's like Raven, you think that she's a dark person. I show both sides of her. She's very calm and mild-mannered around Lamont. Carl here.
There's layers to these characters.
Yeah, there's layers to her, but she could flip a switch in a second and become your worst freaking enemy and go hell on earth on you. But
it could be very female empowering, I would think.
Yeah.
Some of the actresses that want to play.
Yeah. So I encourage, for those of you that want to be a part of this, let's do an audition tape. And I get a lot of times, well, no, not every single time. I've given them a scenario, and I give them full artistic freedom to kind of bring to life that character a little bit. And for those of you that say, oh, I'll get you an audition tape in 2 weeks. Well, you could do that. I'm not going to tell you not to, but I would advise you to give it to me sooner than later, because if I find someone that crushes that audition, I'm going to give them the role. I already have 2 people mad at me because they're like, well, I guess I could forget about my lines now because you've already cast it. Well, you said you were going to give it to me in 2 weeks. I'm sorry. You're not Scarlett Johansson. I'm not saying you're not anybody, but if someone like that said, hey, I'm busy, I really want to give you a tape for this role, can you just give me 2 weeks? Yes, I will do it in that case. But, and for certain characters in this series, yes, I am talking to well-known horror actors. Absolutely. But they're going to be like little bits and pieces here and there. My main thing is, I want local people or anyone else around. I can go get them if I want to. I want people that are hungry to be in this industry, that love to be in this industry, that just want to. I mean, there's this one person that if she accepts the role, she's in the Bay Area, I believe, and I like her for this role, and she said, "This is all I want to do." And I said, "If you're a main character, it's a long-term commitment, you know, because if you're a main character like Raven, Morgan, Dallas, or Lamont." You have to be in the same, because you're in every single episode. So, you know, and don't get mad if something is cast. There's other characters for you. There's other episodes, you know, and
it's not the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world. Yeah. So I think that we've covered the series in general, and why we're doing it.
Basic idea. They know what they're getting into.
And we've covered all the characters in the first episode.
Where we're going a little, maybe.
Yeah. So again, if you guys have questions, please. I mean, everyone that watches, you know, if you're on the group, you've got my information. For those of you listening on the podcast, I've already given you the group name, the website, but Glenn Spillman, just Google me. I'm all over the place. Find my Facebook, hit me up, DM me, and let's talk, you know, because let's make art together, people. That's all I want to do. All honestly, you know, because I'm affected by this more than you think I am. I've already said that. I'm triggered by this more than you think I am. I've already said that. But mentally, it helps me in some weird way. It helps me.
It's therapy.
It's therapy. It's what it is. And I know that people.
Feel like sometimes. Sorry to interrupt.
No. Go ahead.
Sometimes films are like therapy.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to see something that you can relate to or that you've been through, and then you can go, "Hey, you know what? I'm not the only one that's been through this before," and you feel some closure in that.
Right.
I've had that happen to me. I've watched a film where it actually gave me closure. I was like, I guess I'm not the only one. I don't feel like I'm segregated piece of crap or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? So don't look at it like it's some trash piece. This is informational. It's artistic.
It's very
dark.
artistic. Yeah, it's very dark. I'll give you that.
There's comedy. There's action. There's everything. There's drama in there. There's so many different elements. Jinx.
Yeah. You owe me a Coke?
Yeah, exactly. That you're never going to be bored. You're never. It's always going to keep you going.
Yeah, we're going to keep you're going to think you're knowing where the plot goes, and we're going to twist it.
Yeah.
You know, and one last thing, for those of you out there that are listening or seeing this video that have a story of your own, get a hold of me. And if you want me to tell your story in a different episode or maybe sprinkle it in here and there, I will write your story 100% if you want to get it out there. 100% I will do that. Because maybe this is therapy for you too. You know, I don't know. But that's all I have to say about the serial killers series in this episode. And so keep an eye out. We're going to do podcasts, several of them. I'm going to bring
the guy that you're hearing constantly over here.
I'm going to bring the actors on the podcast that I've already cast. We're going to talk about who, what, when, where, how, and why. We're going to dive into them a little bit. Not only them personally, but about their character, why they chose that character, so you guys can get a better understanding of who they are. It's kind of a personal thing, you know, to kind of give you guys some insight, open a window to us and who we are. And as you can see, dude, we're like Wayne and Garth sitting in his mother's basement. We're just chilling out.
World party time, excellent.
We're two dudes that are creating art, and we're totally chill.
Yeah.
We're not evil. You know, we don't worship, you know, any dark entities and do blood sacrifices. I know I kind of look like I do, but I don't. I swear to God I don't.
You don't look like that. Kind of a Tarzan thing going on, but that's about it, you know?
But anyway, that's it on this, guys. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope I give you more of an insight of who I am, why I'm doing it. And I didn't tell you my personal stories for sympathy. I told you because I think some of you need to know so you could kind of maybe relate to me a little bit more, that I'm not the bad guy that you think I am. But anything else you got to say about this, Carl?
No, I think it about wraps it up. You guys get the idea of where we're going and what we're trying to achieve. If you don't want to be part of it because it's too dark for
Yeah.
you, then find something.
Yeah, you're
that's
not going to
maybe
hurt
a
my
little more
feelings.
friendly.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
You want to do a Disney film or you want to do something that's
Yeah.
lighter, then go for it.
Yeah.
This is dark.
Yeah, very dark.
This is gritty. This is nasty. So you're getting some real stuff here.
Yeah.
If you're okay with that,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Then let's
We're
rock
not
and
doing
roll,
porno,
man. No, we're not.
and we're not doing any snuff films. We're not doing anything crazy.
Right.
It's just your series. This is a basic series.
All right. So for those of you watching, thanks for watching. We're going to do something over here. Thank you, guys.
Bye, guys.
All right. For those of you still listening on the podcast, we appreciate you listening to our first episode of Serial Killers. Hey, and I appreciate everybody that's reached out. And literally, I mean, I was telling Carl about this last night and today. I mean, we got people from Russia, Italy, Germany, Sweden, Norway, and then all over the United States that are just, I don't know how they're hearing about this. I know other people are sharing it in other horror groups. There's this one horror group on Facebook that has 2.5 million members on it. So maybe it went on that one and everyone's saying, oh, that's cool. It's, you know. But I appreciate everyone that auditions. I really do. Just because you're not right for one part doesn't mean you're not right for another. So come to me and say, hey, Glenn, I'd like to play this part. I'll find something for you. If you're hungry to act in something, I swear to God, I'll find something. I'll write something for you. I'll put you in a scene. So anyway, guys, we appreciate it. We will talk to you guys on the next podcast. Peace out.
See you guys.